There we go. Knew I forgot something. I'm so frustrated with trying to figure out if I can put music into this stream or not, that I forgot to put on my headphones so I could chat. Hi, happy Sunday, happy Mother's Day. I have had a wonderful Mother's Day. In fact, that is why I am streaming late, because my daughter and grandson came out and she brought a Mother's Day gift, which was in conjunction with my birthday gift, which I got last Sunday. This is almost as good as, as it gets to get two gifts. A lot of times she combines the two, but she did combine the two, but she had a theme, and she gave me half of it for my birthday and half of it for Mother's Day. If any of you have watched over the past, I like to make cocktails. She does too, and that wasn't necessarily, she didn't necessarily get that from me. We came to it at different times. She kind of came to it when she was in college in Tulane, in the whole New Orleans thing. But anyway, I came to it quite a bit later here, living here, and deciding that I'm not going anywhere. I'm sitting on my porch. I might as well have a cocktail. And found out it was a lot of fun to do. So my gift was a whole bunch of little bottles for my birthday, a whole bunch of little bottles of the booze, and then for Mother's Day, some big bottles of mixers. Cool present. So anyway, and since my grandson was along, and there is a craft project pending for him where he has to paint rocks, and we have an endless supply of rocks at our two creeks, we had to make a trip to the creek. Now, this is very, very hard for me. Okay, I'm decrepit. I don't walk on ground well. I use a walking stick, and I actually went with them. And we had to, grass is tall. We don't mow the area by the creek. There is limbs down. It is going wild. It has been going wild for a long time, and we keep it wild. We have all the area around the house mowed and that sort of thing, but not the far back beyond the rabbit barn that goes down to the creek. And it's quite a bit of land. It's probably about 10 acres. So anyway, we forged a path and made our way down there, and she was showing my grandson different plants. He is developing a taste and interest in that sort of thing, but he loves the creek. He has always loved the creek, and it was a treat to go down there because we haven't for a long time. My creek was totally accessible when my daughter lived out here, and she was a little older than what my grandson is now, but she would spend summer days down there all the time. It was real easy to get to. What has happened is, over the years, and I've lived here for 32 years, the rampant flow of water from high rain has carved the banks down. So they are steep, right? You have to go down a steep bank in order to get down to the creek. The creek itself is barely ankle deep. It only happens when there's a tremendous amount of rain, and it's a fierce force, that water. Along the bank, we saw various and sundry tree trunks that are deposited at the top of the bank, right? So the water had gone all the way to the top. Tree trunks were rushing down along with the water, and they got hooked at the top of the bank, maybe on another tree trunk or something, and stayed there. So there's a lot of force to that water, and nothing to be reckoned with. Not ever going to go down there when it's that way, but it is a blissful place and fun for kids. You got your tadpoles, you got your frogs, you got your little tiny minnows, you got just about anything. Unfortunately, you got spiders too, which my grandson doesn't like, and all sorts of plants. He was quite thrilled when he discovered when she showed him and pulled wild onions. We can cook these? Yes, you can cook those and eat those. I'm going to cook those for you. He is all about cooking right now. He is learning how to cook and is enjoying it. So yeah, he is the bread maker in the household, their household. It is a simple procedure because they're using a automatic bread maker, and it's a matter of putting the ingredients in a certain order, measuring, putting them in. He is the official bread maker now, so that's a good thing. And he tends to make bread twice a week. Of course, he loves to eat it too, which is fine. I think he can take great pride in the fact that he's making something. He did way, way better than his grandmother because I had a failure today in the bread maker. I had bananas going bad. Not bad, but going soft, and I wanted to make banana bread. And originally I thought, well, I'll bake them in the oven, but it takes an hour and a half or whatever to bake in the oven. And I thought, what? I think I can make banana bread in the bread maker. So I pulled the bread maker recipe book out and got that and started it off. And when I took a look at it at the raising stage, I was overflowing the pan. At first I thought it was because I did not have bread maker yeast. I had forgotten that I was out of that, and I hadn't gotten it at the grocery store forever, so I need to get that. But so I used regular yeast. I always have that around. Well, I don't know. My daughter thinks it's because it was a sweetbread and the yeast and a 2-pound loaf instead of a smaller loaf, and it just went over and it made a mess. And it didn't really bake. It baked. Okay, it's edible. We've eaten it, but it didn't really bake like a true banana bread bakes in the oven. It would have been so much better if I had done it in the oven, but I didn't. So that was a bit of a disaster today. They both liked it. They took half of it home. I'll start over, make something else, make something in the bread maker. Yeah, once I get some yeast at the grocery store. But I walked a lot. I'm very tired. It isn't easy walking. It's tall grass. It's uneven ground. And it is quite a distance away from the house. I haven't done that for a long time. And I'm getting way better because last weekend, or during the week hubby and I went away, we walked along the Ohio River, and I told him it's hard. I said, anything that's good for me seems like it's really hard, right? It's hard to do, and this is another one. It's really good for me to do this, but it was very hard to do. So I'm tired, but I'm real happy to sit down and do some streaming and have the rest of the day pretty much a relaxed Sunday. I'll talk more about stuff. I want to show you what I'm going to spin. This is dyed by Natural Obsessions. She no longer is a active vendor, dyer. This is 50% cashmere, 50% silk. It is just like heaven. And I mean, I don't know why I want to spin it. I just really think I ought to just cuddle it, but I think I'm going to go ahead and spin it. And I'm going to start this. It's going to take a while. This is 4 ounces. Yeah, 4 ounces. Cost me $11 an ounce. Yeah, cost me $44 for this. So, it is expensive fiber. I'm going to go to Live Seed. Spinning wheel. I'm going to try it on a Roberta. I do hope it works. But before I even do that, as you can see, it's blue, various shades of blue, very shiny where the silk is. And it really depends on how nice the top is and how it was affected by the, here we go, how it was affected by the dyeing. So right now I'm just undoing the braid. Oh my gosh, there is so much of this fiber for 4 ounces. Oh my goodness, there's so much. Alright. One half away. And figure out how in the world am I going to spin this? Is pretty. And you know, being appropriate for Mother's Day, one of the things I did when I went down to my mom's house was bring home her big costume jewelry box. And my daughter was in need of a new big jewelry box. This was a big one, big 3-drawer one. So I went through it, got what I wanted, and then I let her go through, take what she wanted. We did that today too, and that just seemed appropriate. My mom, her grandmother. I still have stick tights. They're not really stick tights yet. They're all soft and fuzzy because they're brand new young ones, right? I have no idea. I hope this spins worsted into a very fine, tight single. That's how I'm hoping it spins. I will make a 2-ply. There is enough variation to there's enough variation here. Blue and white, blue, it's no specific color pattern that putting 2 singles of this together is going to look fine. It looks so delicate, all, see this right here? All fluffed up, doesn't it? It just looks ethereal. I have to figure out what speed here too. I'm pulling. Okay, way too much pulling. Too much speed. The only thing that will happen is I will tire of making it this thin, and I'll end up reverting to my typical drafting. I have to really work to get this thin.
Man, that's thin.
Still a lot of pull in. Again, that's the Roberta. Just very strong pull in. So today is a trial of music from Chill Hop. I put the information for Chill Hop in About Me on my channel. They claim if I do that, it is all licensed free. I don't believe them. This is an experiment. And if I get muted, it will be the third stream in a row to get muted. And I've had it. This is the last attempt to put music with a stream. If I get a mute, it's going to go quiet. Don't like it, but very irritating. The other thing that was so wonderful about today is the sun is shining, the weather is perfect. We had terrible weather yesterday. Yesterday was the Kentucky Derby. It was gloomy, cold. It didn't rain really, but it was just so cold. Got as far today as taking the worst part of the Cormo fleece that I just bought that I need to wash out to the porch. Where I am going to pick it apart so that I can wash it. But I didn't get to it today because my daughter came out earlier than she originally planned, and that's fine. I thought I would stream early, and she'd come out later, but it worked better the other way around for her. So she came out, streaming more closer. I was late, but a little closer to my normal time for Sunday. So I probably won't do a 2-hour stream today. Just quit at 5 o'clock like I usually do. Maybe an hour and a half or so, maybe less. It took me a little bit to fiddle with finding Chill Hop and doing all that. I want to go out and have a little bit of porch time. Actually, I probably won't have horse time. I probably will get on the mower and mow. This feels like the softest wool ever. It is spinning like wool silk, and that's a good thing. Being cashmere, I thought it might have the problem of short staple. I haven't run into that yet. In fact, it's kind of hard to draft because it's long stapled. Want a whole bunch of area in between the first and second hands, which is the drafting zone, because I am pinching the twist up here with my front hand, purposely, intentionally making this a worsted yarn. fact that it's white reminds me of wool. I think of cashmere as being off-white.
Oh my goodness, it's pretty. Oh my goodness, it's pretty.
Well, I did all my hiking and got very warm. Took off I had a sweatshirt on. Got too warm. Took it off. Now I'm chilly. here? I'm spinning two together. Not good. Hmm. One of the things that my daughter gave me that's not really a cocktail mixer, I think they use it occasionally, but it's pomegranate and molasses. Pomegranate and molasses. I'm going to have to research that a little bit. I've seen them use, pomegranate flavoring syrups or whatever. Not the molasses. First thing you do is taste it, which is what I did with the one I tried today while she was out here. I made just a very small amount so we all could get a taste of it. It's supposed to be a mojito. It's supposed to be with rum. Turns out we didn't like it with the rum. It was a lavender and I can't remember. The lavender was very forward. Really tastes the lavender. Oh, blueberry. I'm sorry, blackberry. Blackberry and lavender. It's really good. The syrup itself, the mixer itself, really good. But it called for it to be a mojito with rum, and we just don't like it that way. So made a second small trial one for all of us to taste with vodka, and that was very good. Very good. Blackberry and lavender. It's really amazing that you get that lavender taste. She bought these. She didn't make them. She bought them. Oh man, I just spun one of my gray hairs in there. Went in there slick as could be. It's probably on my slacks. I need to save some of this fiber for my little reference book.
Oh, excuse me. Let's put this again.
down there on my slacks, my sweats. Something was sticking me. They're actually not like they are in the summer. They're all soft and fuzzy because they're brand new. They're just coming out. My grandson said, "Why are these sticking all over me?" And I said, "Because they don't have legs and that's how they get around." He's taking all sorts of different camps for the summer, a week long of various topic specific camps. And one of them is wilderness survival. I kind of wonder if that one's going to work. So the Knitmore girls are, according to their Discord, doing their stash dash again this year. And I started it last year. I didn't end up really claiming much. Try to see how much yardage you can do. It's mostly for knitting, where you have your yardage figured up in your commercial yarn, and if you use it all up, you know how much you used up. Now, you can do the same thing with spinning. They allow it. There's, I think, 2 different categories for it, but my point is, it's like it was done on Tour de Fleece, where you total up your 2 singles and a plain total. So, obviously I spin during that period of time. Starts May 27th, Memorial weekend. Well, I don't know if it's Memorial weekend, but yeah, it starts May 27th. which is a Friday. And I believe it ends August 1st. Let me bring Discord up and see what it says here. Go all the way to the top of their thing. Oh, and the last day of August. So you have all of June, July, and August, basically, plus a couple days. That's an easy way to remember it. Okay. And Tour de France is in the middle of that, so Tour de Fleece will be. They do this instead of Tour de Fleece. That, 21 days of Tour de Fleece is a nice period of time if you don't have a whole bunch that you want to get done, but they use this for knitting bigger projects and getting the bigger projects done, so you need more time. It's a summer thing. And the only thing they ask is that you, at some point in time, declare a goal of 1K, 2K, 5K, 10K, 20K, which really is hard to, and, make it really, really high. Probably won't make it too way, way low. You go way over it. Just depends on your commitment, how much you're going to really do and focus on it. But spinning adds up quickly. So I got a chuckle. I was reading through that channel. And people were pulling yarns for projects. And works in progress count. If you have any of it done, you get to count the whole project. I mean, if it's something you started and you finish it, and it doesn't matter if it's just, okay, you have a sweater knit and you seam the seams, that counts. So, some people use real high goals, but that's how they get them, by things that are already pretty far along. Which, the only thing I have that's, started it's a big project, is 3 shawls, and I would be unrealistic to even think that I would get 3 shawls knit. I'm not sure. I probably could get 1 knit. I don't know what else I would get done, though, and that's my biggest problem. I never know if I want to do a whole bunch of little ones, little stuff. I have a pair of socks that I need to finish. I have socks that I'd love to make from the Sock Madness already. That sort of thing. I have a tote bag started. What else do I have started? I think I have a cowl started somewhere. So I have a lot of little projects that I'd like to do because that's what I use my hand spun with. And I do have the yarn for bigger projects, not just the shawls. I have lots of hand spun CVM that I did one year for a sweater spin. I'd like to see if I could get a sweater out of that. So I'm still in the quandary stage. I'm still puzzling it out what I want to focus on. I see no advantage to saying, what is it'll happen. Whatever happens, it'll happen, right? I'm gonna do a little bit of planning. The spinning will be more open. I will do like I'm doing now, only spin while I'm streaming. But I will add more knitting time to my day if I wanted to get some of the knitting done. I hate to say this, but I missed lunch. I had a little bit of breakfast this morning, but I didn't really get lunch because my daughter came out. I'm hungry. I mean, I'm hungry with a capital H here. I am really hungry. This back in the finish that statement. I need to put that receipt back in the fiber box. No, I accidentally got it out when I got this fiber out, thinking it went with this fiber, and it doesn't. Skeined up the California Red on my 2-yard thing, and in that 4 ounces, I ended up with 224 yards of 2-ply. Really, really nice yarn. Finally decided to mow. I hear it. We put it off for a long time today. We have 2 riding mowers because we mow so much. One is an older one that he has to periodically do work on and that sort of thing. He lets me use the newer one. Plus the newer one is easier on my knee. He probably doesn't expect I'm going to mow today. we have a great week coming up as far as weather. It's going to go into the 80s, all the way up possibly 90, no rain. We are going to have a dry spell for this week. There's going to be quite a bit of outside work happening during this period of time. I'm going to get my strawberry bed weeded, cleaned out. I'm going to get the two small garden beds ready, and I will get tomato plants, I'm hoping, next weekend at a local seed and start sale. And then I'm pretty sure I can plant those and green beans. They always say it's kind of, don't plant your tomatoes until after Memorial Day around here, and most certainly is not unheard of to go down into the 40s overnight. So I can keep them on the porch. That's the other thing, my porch plants, once it's guaranteed that it won't go below 55 outside overnight, well, or 50. Most of my houseplants are real, they're hardy. They're not too affected by the weather, the cooler weather. But May is a happening month. That's when we really have a lot to do. Very, very rarely travel in May for any length of time. In fact, that sale of tomato plants is, Saturday. Okay. There's something else we said we would do. Oh, I know what it is. The German Club. They have their Saturday evening beer hall, and they may have Maybach. Yep. That's what we're doing Saturday. Kind of hard to get this thin. It is all mixed up like roving. It's not pulling out straight like top. It's messy.
so pretty. Boy, joins are hard with this. One more. This is, yeah, look at that. It's getting all over me. Oh, a lot of it. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's too bad. That's kind of a waste. I definitely see off-white tan color areas in this part of it, which is interesting. It really is marked as 50-50. I would have thought that I'd see more than I have, for as much as I've spun, but maybe it's because it took the dye better than the silk. right, this is going to be the end of what I do today. I will be back Tuesday morning, probably pretty early, because I have a 1 o'clock doctor's appointment. I will have to leave the house at noon. Maybe I won't do a full 2 hours. I intend to do cross stitching Tuesday morning. I should be back on my regular schedule for this week. Tuesday morning, Thursday evening, 7 to 9 in the evening, Eastern Standard Time, and Sunday afternoon, 3 to 5. As far as I know. That's the plan anyway.
So, thank you for hanging out, those of you who were probably knitting in the background and listening in. I will also say thank you if you've caught this on the video on demand while it's still hanging around Twitch. Appreciate you hanging out this long. I will be back, and let me go to say adios. Have a wonderful, wonderful start to your week. See you Tuesday morning. Bye.